To start with a topic called as inflammation. The very basic definition of inflammation is basically the local response of a living tissue to injury from any agent. Now, there are four basic cardinal signs of inflammation, which are redness, swelling, heat, pain. This is all we know till now. What we are going to start with is there are two type of inflammation. We have acute inflammation and a chronic inflammation. What is acute inflammation? It is basically a short duration. It is of short duration and represents a very early body reaction to quickly resolve the problem or to heal it as quickly as possible. It is from a body. It is for small infections or any small injury that is happened to a body. But if the injury is severe or it cannot be resolved by acute inflammation, then it will be continued, a healing will be continued, and it will turn into a chronic inflammation. We will talk about both of them. Let's start with acute inflammation. Now here that on the screen you can see they are chemical mediators of inflammation. As you can see here, we are going to start with mediators, and finally the mediators will tell you what different mediators will act on the system to give rise to a specific action, and this action will continue to give you a story that will be a whole process of acute inflammation. So let's start with our mediators. These are basically chemical mediators which are going to be present, which you must have heard of, and each one will have their action. Basically in acute inflammation, the whole of this process is to bring as many neutrophils. Remember two things. In acute inflammation you will have you are going to have neutrophils. So acute inflammation is equal to neutrophil. Please remember that thing. Acute inflammation equals to neutrophil, and chronic inflammation equals to macrophages. What I mean by this is, whenever there is acute inflammation, the main cell that is going to act on the site of inflammation is going to be neutrophil. So the whole process of this inflammation will be, in acute inflammation especially, will be to bring more and more neutrophils towards the place where the inflammation or infection has happened. So the whole process, or the whole chemical mediators and the other mediators, are programmed in such a way so that they bring more cells, more neutrophils towards that area, so that they can resolve the problem in acute manner. And if not, then it will get converted into chronic inflammation, where more macrophages will be brought and macrophages will be activated. So let's start with it. We will be having things that will be happening in this place. For you will see the actions of this chemical mediators will be two major actions, which are vasodilation and increased permeability of endothelial cells. This main actions will be seen by you in this place. What we see mean by this is, the whole, as I told you, we will need more and more neutrophils at the point. So the one method by which body tries to bring more and more neutrophils towards the infection or inflammation site is by increasing the blood vessel size, that is vasodilation, and bringing more and more blood to the inflammatory site. And second is by increasing the permeability of the vessel, so that the neutrophils can squeeze through the blood vessels and enter the inflammatory site. Okay, so continuing with it, we will have a mediators. So there are two type of chemical mediators. There will be one which will be the cell derived chemical mediators, and the others which will be present inside the plasma. So they will be plasma mediated, but in an inactive state. The cell mediated or cell derived mediators will be released by cell when the cell gets activated, when it understands that okay, that there is some infection or inflammation that has been happening, and I have to release them, the factors. So let's start with the cell derived factors. The mediator histamine that you must have heard of. Start with the chemical mediators which are cell derived. The cells will be releasing these mediators whenever they are activated, which means whenever there is infection or inflammation, by that they are activated. So the first mediator, everyone must have heard about it. This is histamine. Histamine is secreted by mast cells, basophils. You must be knowing what mast cells are. Mast cells are basically activated basophils which enter the tissue. Now whenever there is a harm to tissue or any activation to mast cell due to any trauma or any infection, the mast cells are secreting histamine, which causes vasodilation and increase in permeability of the vessels, also causing endothelial action. Next thing we know, serotonin. It has released by platelets, and it has same action as histamine. Same action, only less potent. The next thing we know are leukotrienes and prostaglandins. Now what about these things? How both of them are secreted by leukocytes. What happens is, whenever there is a damage to cell wall of a leukocyte, think this is a leukocyte, and this is the cell wall of a leukocyte which has arachidonic acid inside it. Now what happens is, whenever there is a damage to the cell wall of a leukocyte, there is a damage to the cell wall, there is a damage to the cell wall of the leukocyte, what happens to the what happens is, the phospholipase acts on the cell wall of this leukocyte. Whenever there is inflammation, infection, or any tissue damage, the cell wall is acted on by the phospholipase, and what happens is, this phospholipase starts releasing arachidonic acid from the cell wall, which is पहले से present होता है, cell wall में ही present होता है वो arachidonic acid, but it enters into the cytoplasm due to action of phospholipase. Now phospholipase A2 acts on the cell wall and cell membrane and cell membrane, and it starts releasing arachidonic acid inside the cell. Now what happens is, arachidonic acid has two fates to go through. It can either undergo lipoxygenase pathway, or it can undergo cyclooxygenase pathway. So it has two fates to go through, lipoxygenase pathway or a cyclooxygenase pathway. So one pathway that it goes to is lipoxygenase pathway, where it gives rise to leukotrienes. The result is leukotrienes, giving rise to leukotriene C4, D4, E4 and B4, while the other pathway is cyclooxygenase pathway, where it can give rise to prostaglandin, and the prostaglandin are PGD2, E2 and I2. So there are two basic pathways through which arachidonic acid can go through. So basically what happens is, जब भी कोई इन्फेक्शन इन्फ्लेमेशन होगा, ल्यूकोसाइट एक्टिवेट होगा, ल्यूकोसाइट के सेल मेम्ब्रेन से there is arachidonic acid का रिलीज ड्यू टू phospholipase A2 का एक्शन, and this arachidonic acid ACA can undergo two pathways. This is lipoxygenase pathway or a cyclooxygenase pathway. Depending on which pathway it undergoes, it will give rise to leukotrienes and prostaglandins. What are leukotrienes? There are four molecules, or four types of leukotrienes. They are LTC4, LTD4, LTE4 and LTB4. I want you to remember only one thing, that is LTB4 is a chemotactic agent. LTB4 is chemotactic agent. At the end of this, mediators, I will give you a list and a mnemonic of chemical mediators, which will help you remember all the chemical mediators in this. And like any other thing I told you, LTC4, D4 and E4 will give rise to only increased vasodilation and increased permeability of blood vessel. As I told you already, that most of the chemical mediators will be doing the same thing, that is vasodilation and increased permeability. Next thing is prostaglandin. Again we have PGD2, E2, I2. This is not D, this is 2, BGD2. Okay, so you have PGD2, PGE2, PGI2, and this is the same thing, arachidonic acid undergoing cyclooxygenase pathway, giving rise to the prostaglandin, and we will be having PGD2, E2 and I2. We should remember same thing, that vasodilation and permeability, increase permeability and vasodilation to increase the neutrophils and other WBC content towards the infection. And then you have one more point, that PGE2 is fever. PGE2 is responsible for fever. Next chemical mediator, that is cellular mediator, is cytokine. The cytokines are released by lymphocytes and macrophages. We remember this, IL-8, PF4 and MCP1. All these are chemotactic agents. Remember this, IL-8, PF4 and MCP are chemotactic agent. Now I will give you a shortcut to remember all the chemotactic agent, and this is your mnemonic that I was talking about, IPLCM. What is this? What do you mean by IPLCM? What you mean by is I for IL-8, P for PF4, L for LTB4, that we are talking about, leukotriene B4, right? C for C5A. What is C5A? C5A is basically, C5A will be basically our product of complement system. So you must be knowing about complement system that takes place, that acts in blood. Basically we will be talking about it in mediators, plasma mediators. We will be having complement system. This complement system will be giving rise to 3 to 4 products, C3A, C5A, and others is all things. One of them is C5A, and what C5A does is chemoattractants. So chemoattractants will be all of these IPLCM, M for MCP1, MCP1. So as I told you, just remember IPLCM. What IPL means: I for interleukin 8, P for PF4, L for LTB4, TB4, C for C5A, and M for MCP1. What all of this will be doing? This will be doing chemotactic movement. That is, what is chemotaxis? They will be causing the chemotactic movement of, they will be telling the neutrophils ki basically yahan pe, this is the specific location where you need to come because your requirement is here in the infection site. So blood vessel dilation, vasodilation will be causing increase migration of leukocytes or neutrophils towards the inflammatory area, but specifically to the inflammatory area where they have to reach is given by all these chemotactants, IPLCM. And then there is TNF and IL-1. TNF and IL-1 are specifically secreted or released by macrophages. What are this? Macrophages released molecules TNF and IL-1. What do they do? The tumor necrosis factor and interleukin 1, both of them, the most important work that they do is increase LAMs. What is LAM? Well, LAM is basically leukocyte adhesion molecules. What are leukocyte adhesion molecules? Let me tell you. This is a blood vessel, then, and this is a leukocyte. Okay, this is a leukocyte. What is leukocyte adhesion molecule? These are like speed breakers. So what will happen is, whenever you have an infection, samaj X, there is infection over here, we will increase this LAMs or speed breakers over here. So what will happen is the new leukocyte doesn't directly go away, but they stop due to this speed breakers, and as we know, they will be squeezing through this area into the area of infection. So that is what the leukocyte adhesion molecules are for. There are different type of LAMs, leukocyte adhesion molecules. These are P-selectins, E-selectins, endothelial selectins, and L-selectins. L-selectin, E-selectin, P-selectin. What do you mean by it is, L-selectins are L-selectins present on leukocytes. They will be like hooks, right, on leukocyte. Expect this as a leukocyte is a hook, and then you have, these are L-selectin, and then there will be endothelial selectins, which will be another hook, will be endothelial selectin. So both of these hooks attach to each other and stop the leukocyte from moving away, and stopping of this leukocyte will help you to gather leukocyte more and more towards the infectious area.